Welcome everyone to a special edition of AFW After Dark. Tonight we are doing the Royal Rumble After Dark. Hit it.
Coming to you live from the FN Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown.
It's the All Effin' Wrestling Show.
With your hosts, Canada Dry, and the JFB.
Tell me how it's priced. Tell me if the item is for sale. And tell me.
Well, good evening or good morning if you're on the East Coast, like some of us.
Yep.
This is your 2024 edition of the Royal Rumble After Dark, little WWE special. I am the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs.
And I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm the godfather of this whole thing. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing Dry.
Now, guys, usually when we do these collision after dark episodes, we do it as a threesome. But this week in particular, the term threesome kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Okay? Yeah. So we had to up the ante a little bit and then introduce a fourth member so we could be the Fantastic Four. So we've got our special guest right below me. You know him, but I will let him introduce himself to you guys.
I'm this homeless guy they picked up and said if I could earn a couple extra coin if I sweep the stoop. That's what I did. No, of course, I am the king of projection wrestling. That and $1.50 still won't get you a cup of coffee in Starbucks. I'm the JFB, James from Boston.
And you guys know our usual triad partner here on Saturday evenings. Look at that hair. Fantastic. Go ahead and introduce yourself, fine sir.
I mean, you all know me as GM Joe, but it is currently 12:05 on Sunday morning, so you just call me Sleepy Joe like our president.
Ah,
Sleepy Joe was in. Can we change your name to that? That's great.
Yeah, go ahead. I literally just thought of that.
Okay, let me get to that.
now, Joe, don't fall down on your way to bed.
No, I won't. Well, I don't know, man. My left leg is so jacked up right now. I don't know what I could fall over without even trying.
Oh no, man, that's not good.
But I mean, you're the same, dude.
Well, see, the difference is that I went to the ER last night, and they basically said, "Oh, we don't know what's wrong with you. Here's some ibuprofen. Here's some muscle relaxers. Here's some steroids, and go see a freaking orthopedic specialist."
So I spent probably 10 hours in the emergency yesterday, and I'm not a doctor, even though I play one on TV here. But I self-assessed myself. I said, you know what? It's probably a groin pull. It's in the groin region. There's no protrusions or bumps or any discoloration there. So I'm like, you know what? This is probably a groin pull. But, people are like, you need to see a doctor. You need to see a doctor. So I'm like,
Fran
okay.
Drescher told you to go to the doctor. Fran Drescher told you to go to the doctor.
Fran Drescher, my friend Molly told me to go. My coworker said you need to go to the, all these people in your ear. Why haven't you gone to a doctor yet? Because I am a freaking doctor. Because they gave me the exact diagnosis I gave myself. The only thing I didn't have was an X-ray to confirm it.
And you're working on that. If you just got to like tinker with the microwave a little bit longer.
Well,
and,
I do have
you
those
got it.
X-ray specs coming in the mail, so those might. I traded in my Bazooka Joe comic books for it.
Got some X-ray glasses coming from the gas
Well, yeah, and it
station.
shows in the comic book that works. Looking at a girl and it sees their bra underneath, like, so you know it works.
Question is,
No,
do you have the
okay.
decoder ring?
You don't need the decoder ring to work the X-ray glasses, though.
I understand that, but
They're
the
not
decoder
accountable.
ring is like official.
Maybe it's the They Live glasses, and you'll see everybody in their true form.
Oh,
You know what that'd be cool because you avoid all the dicks. You're like, that's a dick, that's a dick, that's
Yeah,
a
you
dick.
need-
Oh, that's a nice
the
person.
first
The
person you need
WrestleMania
to
sign will say
respect is-
obey.
Look, the first person you need to look at is Uncle Zuck. See if he's really a lizard man. Okay.
So, we all know that the WrestleMania sign really isn't there in the building.
Superimposed.
So what? Like that must be so hard for a wrestler to all of a sudden look up where there's nothing and point to nothing. I could do it. I'd be like, what? Like, they're doing it several times a match. Like,
They must have some kind of visual cue, like a particular light that catches their eye or something. It's got to be something like that.
because
Yes,
like if you had that giant WrestleMania sign, there'd be obstruction view everywhere.
Well, before we get into the event, let's do some shout outs here. We got Ayaka in here. Welcome. We got Caleb. Got my cousin Steven. Good to see you here, my man.
It sounds like a movie. My cousin Steven.
My cousin Steven instead of my cousin Vinny.
Mm.
Yeah. Steven, maybe we'll make a movie called My Cousin Steven.
My cousin
Like that.
Steven. Instead of talking about law, we talk about wrestling.
Right.
Steven wants to be a wrestler, and you're talking him out of it, trying to give him Steven just wants to become a wrestler.
Yeah.
I feel like
Even
we're
though
ripping
he's trying
off.
to talk him out of it, you're
I feel
loyal.
like
you're
we're ripping
loyal
off the
cousin.
plot of Ready to Rumble with that.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the king? JFB?
Yes, absolutely.
No. King Haney has to be the king. Shooting insults at him. You're nothing. You're nothing but a dumb, I'm not as witty as Haney on the cup.
You're watching Collision, you idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some.
We got the Shane LW experience. He was also on Magic earlier today. It's good to see you, sir. And of course, we got our man Caleb and Noob in the house, and Tiffany.
Yeah, we got some new faces.
Yeah,
that are gonna be
it's pretty
appearing
exciting.
on the podcasts in the coming weeks. We got a new guy from England named George. We got
I know George.
your cousin Steven, and we got Shane, who's Vancouver like me. We'll be going to Collision together, actually. Not
cool.
not sitting next to each other, but we'll see each other there.
That's
Nice.
awesome. I know George. He was on Magic with us a couple weeks ago. All right, let's go ahead and get into this because there's a lot to cover here. There's only 4 matches, but 2 of them are an hour long. So,
And then we have the
and we're going to talk about the cage match as well. Now, where do you want to stick the cage match in here? Do you want to do it at the end or at the beginning or somewhere in the
I think
middle?
At
The end
the
will
end,
be-
because I'm currently watching it right now.
Yeah, so Jip, if you want to get in one round of watching it while we're doing this, you
I
can.
don't have I have to go upstairs. It's a whole,
Oh, okay.
It's a rigmarole. It's a whole process.
Yeah,
a whole
I'll,
Well, you using the JFB words and everything, rigmarole.
rigmarole. Is that a JFB word?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I just whatever.
You know the rigmarole here at Effin' Wrestling. We sell you shirts.
If it wasn't midnight, I'd tell somebody to keep my supper warm. All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about the Royal Rumble here. This started out with the Women's Rumble. And before we get into our thoughts on this, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to run down the list of all 30 women that were in the Rumble very quickly.
Hey,
All
do
right.
your best impression of Excalibur.
No, do yourself. Do your way.
I don't want to pass out.
Yeah.
We're going to be back in the back. Stay tuned for picture. So we had Natalia Neidhart at number 1, Naomi number 2, Bailey, Candice LeRae, Jordan Grace, TNA Knockouts champion with the TNA title, Indy Hartwell, Asuka, Ivy Nile, Katana Chance, Bianca Belair, Kari Sane, Tegan Knox, Kaden Carter, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Xia Li, Zelina Vega, Maxine Dupree, Nia Jax, Shotzi, Becky Lynch, Alba Fire, Shayna Baszler, Valhalla. R-Truth pops in out of nowhere. Mishan, Zoe Stark, Roxanne Perez, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, and Liv Morgan. Now, I'm going to let you guys go first, and I'll give my thoughts last, since I just spent 10 minutes going through the damn participants. I will start with Canada F and Dry. What did you think about the women's 2024 Rumble?
It was a good way to start the show. We had some big names coming in right off the bat. Naomi makes her re-debut.
Yes.
What you got? Jade at the very end.
I know Jade ain't pop for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jade debuts. It's a good spar off with Bianca. Maybe choosing something in the future. Eliminates Nia Jax. Jade looks so good, and they put her in the perfect spot to dominate near the end. Of course, we had Jordan Grace, who was in this, and that was really cool to see. She was in it for, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
She was in there for a little bit.
Yeah,
longer than that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they didn't disrespect her. They gave her a decent showing. So those are my notable ones that I kind of taken place here. I thought Becky was going to win it, but we'll see how Becky gets to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe, before you fall asleep, my man, what did you think of the women's Rumble?
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I will say, in our group chat, I absolutely, before she even came out, I was like, Jade's biggest spot should be single-handedly eliminating Nia Jax, and she did it. And it's a smart use of her. She's not the best wrestler. Let her get her moments, because that's what WWE does best, is moments.
Yep.
I will say, I hated the production of the Rumble this year. It was a lot of like just wide shots of the crowd, as like for someone who doesn't watch a lot of WWE, I can't pick out these wrestlers by their theme songs a lot. So I'm like, who's this?
Yeah.
Like it took a lot out of it for me.
Yeah.
I understand that. JFB, wax poetic about the women's Rumble.
I loved it. I thought it was probably one of the best matches of the night.
Not saying much. There was 4 matches.
Yeah, but Jade Cargill, I popped when she came out. Jordan Grace, it was so good to see her, and maybe we start seeing TNA getting a little infused with, get it infused with the, with other promotions. I think would be great. And, I did not like Bayley winning, but to be honest with you, like, she's not going to go after Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
She's going after Io Sky, and it's going to be a fun ride seeing how they evolve that, how they tell that storyline, because it's not long term, but it's medium term. You still got another 4 months before WrestleMania. So
now, we also had R-Truth coming in
yes.
as a joke spot.
Yep.
Thinking he says, "Oh, where's all the men at?"
So just to kind of explain that, because I have that here in my notes, R-Truth came out when Valhalla came out, and he ran in the ring. Nia Jax threw him out.
Yep.
And Valhalla was extremely pissed that he stepped in ahead of her.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, here's kind of my notes that I had. Nia Jax was an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Was just throwing bitches out left and right. Jade eliminating Nia, I thought was fantastic. Jade got a really good pop from the crowd. I'm glad to see they knew who she was. I always pick on certain spots in AEW, so I got to pick on some spots here. Katana Chance did some of the dumbest shit I have seen in a Rumble match. Like, this girl's like 100 pounds, and she went up behind Bianca Belair like she's going to German suplex her.
Yeah.
And Bianca Belair's like twice her size. And then there was a moment where she tried to Hurricane Rana Piper Niven.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like, Are you kayfabe the dumbest wrestler on the roster? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace looked absolutely phenomenal.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she looked amazing. She looked crisp. She looked strong. I'm
liked
glad
her.
they didn't just make her look like a jobber. They made her look really good, and they really talked up that she's the TNA Knockouts champion,
Yeah.
and had her little moment with Naomi where they
Do
just
you
had
know
the
what
big
they
match
also
at
did
the
on this
pay-per-view.
show?
What's that?
That they weren't doing this before. They called Liv Morgan's move the code breaker.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
This is almost overnight. I haven't heard they called the code breaker since Jericho was there.
Yeah. But the final three ended up being Bailey, Jade, and Liv Morgan, with of course Bailey ended up winning. Obviously, I think JFB touched on this. This is a mechanism for getting Bailey out of Damage Control.
Yeah.
I think what they're going to do is I heard another podcaster talk about this morning, and I think that, and I agreed with what he said, was that they're going to tease that Bailey's going to show up and she's going to say, well, I haven't decided who I'm going to face yet. And Damage Control is going to be like, WTF, you're going for Rhea Ripley, right?
Yeah.
And then that's going to cause some dissension between them until eventually something snaps and, they gang up on Bailey or something. She's going after Io Sky and she's going to win the title from her, very likely at
Yeah,
So is this a
WrestleMania.
face turn for her then, or are they the faces?
No, Bailey's
No,
going to
it'd
be
be
the
a
baby
Bailey
face.
face turn.
I mean, the crowd was chanting for Bailey tonight. I think she's pretty much going to be a baby face after this. But that's what I think is going to happen. Does anybody have any closing thoughts about the Women's Rumble before we move on?
Let's touch on Joe and I haven't really touched on Bailey at all.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see Jade win it just because it would be so dominant for her in her start.
Mhm.
But I get what they're doing with Bailey. I personally would have went another route for there's another way to get her there, right? But this is the route they chose. So, yeah, I guess I would have liked to see a few more badass moves from Jade as well, just to kind of build her up a little bit more.
Absolutely. I thought she looked great during this, though.
Yeah,
she looked fantastic. Sleepy Joe, what are your thoughts on Bailey winning this?
She was my second pick. I thought, because personally, I thought Becky was going to win, and I legitimately thought Damage Control was going to turn on Bailey tonight, and that could be the catalyst without the Rumble win to get Bailey and Io at Mania. Another thing is I love Jordan Grace's outfit, like just representing the TNA colors tonight.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And another thing, this crowd sucked tonight. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
It did, yeah.
sucked. Other than the counting down from 10, like it's like they didn't even know who half these people were.
Yeah, Jade got the big pop, but no one else, any other surprises really did.
No, they had no clue who Jordan Grace was. As
I
awesome
didn't
as she
even-
was.
I didn't think they knew who Andrade was.
No. Well, I heard a little bit of a pop whenever El Idolo came at the beginning of his song. I heard a mild little pop, but
That's
I
the
don't
only
know if
reason
maybe
I
it's just
knew who that was right away was because I heard El Idolo.
yeah. And I don't know if it was just due to the fact that it was an outdoor arena. Maybe they didn't have it mic'd up well enough to where you could hear the crowd. I don't know, but that crowd did sound like they kind of sucked.
It's a Tampa Bay crowd. It's the Rays freaking field. I mean, they never have a crowd there.
No, never. Even when they
Like-
were in contention, they never had a crowd.
I said it in our group chat. I was like, when they announced the all-time attendance record, I'm like, well, it's not hard when you have a team that doesn't with fans
Yeah,
that don't care
Because they
about.
showed the nosebleeds were like scattered. There was a few people up in the nosebleeds.
Yes.
It's like, really? This is a attendance record for this place, and you got scattered people.
It's like going back to the mid 90s and being like, guys, we're gonna sell out the Cleveland Browns stadium.
Yeah.
All right. So
What's the joke of that? Is they don't have that many much room
in the
there?
mid 90s, the Browns were dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were freaking horrible.
They were the worst team in the NFL for a
At a
very
point in
long
time,
time.
you could go on Google Maps, and if you went to the Browns Stadium, it would be like the home of misery. Was his official title.
Were tickets cheap? Could you get them for like a hot dog and a handshake?
I'm sure you could. I've never been to Cleveland, but I'm sure you could.
Now, the the Phoenix Coyotes, you could get a flight there to Phoenix, get the full like meal deal there, the food and everything, for 2 tickets for cheaper than I could get a Canuck ticket here in
Yeah.
Vancouver. The whole deal. That was back in the day. I don't think so anymore, but it was cheaper to just fly there.
Yeah.
Maybe not stay the night, but get a ticket. Just go to the game. You got the full meal deal. Then get a SkyTrain, get a bus down to the arena here.
Yeah.
Wow. Moving on, we've got the WWE Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns versus LA Knight versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Here's my notes for the match. This was the typical kind of prodding, brawling around the ring, WWE style championship match. Reigns really does feel like a star, whether people like him or not. I mean, it's just like the crowd is just on their feet when he comes out to his music and
Can
everything.
I interrupt you for a second here?
Yeah.
The entrance for this, because I was watching Collision 2 at the same time. The entrance for this,
Super
you
long.
had a full match on AW Collision by the time everyone got to the ring.
Oh yeah, I'm certain of it. Yeah,
Was it 10 minutes?
probably. Which I needed the rest after like notating the women's rumble. So I was like, all right, let Roman Reigns come out for 10 minutes. That works.
And Randy Orton walks like a slow motherfucker too.
Yeah.
Only the Undertaker walks slower.
Probably. Yeah. Possibly Kane. I don't know.
Imagine if he was in this match.
Yeah. Should have been. Kane should have popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
LA Knight was super over. He seemed to be getting the most cheers of anybody. RKO on Reigns mid Superman punch looked amazing.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a spot. Of course, damn Solo Sikoa has got to get involved. Hit a few Samoan spikes to give Reigns the advantage, who ends up winning via spear to AJ Styles. I will start with JFB this time. What did you think of this match?
I thought it was not very good. There's no way Reigns is going to lose in a 4-way match with no champion's advantage. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it was a foregone conclusion. Why waste burning another loss to what's his name, to LA Knight? A loss to Randy Orton. It didn't make sense. Like they should have fought in a 3-way to determine who would actually take on Roman Reigns. That would be more realistic. Then I would be like, ooh, there might be a chance we could see a changing of the guard. But
I mean, they did do that. That's how we got this 4-way match.
oh, jeez. Anyway,
Roman came out and destroyed all 3 of them.
Yeah. And then Nick Aldis was like,
But
so
Jim, you didn't like anything about this, like the action, nothing.
There were some really good spots. There really were some good spots, but a championship match should always be at the end. It should be the main event. I get it's named it's the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, but I'm a 70s and 80s NWA AWA purist. Championship match should have been last.
Well, I definitely would have put it before the Rumble at least.
Yeah.
Like I almost think they were doing it to compete with the cage match.
They had to be.
Oh, surely they didn't. I wouldn't think that was the reason why.
Well, it seems a weird place to put your championship match right after the women's
That's
Rumble.
what happens when you only have 4 matches on a card and 2 of them are Rumbles that are hours long.
Well, you think
one
would be like just before the Rumble? I don't know. It's weird how they did it.
My personal thoughts, I really liked the match. I thought it was really good. I thought the action was really good in it, good spots. I thought LA Knight looked amazing. I thought this was one of his best performances in the ring. AJ Styles just looks like a freaking monster compared to what he used to look like. He got on those Randy Orton steroids, I guess. Vitamins, not steroids. But I thought this was a pretty good match. It wasn't the greatest match I've ever seen, but I thought it was pretty good. Everybody obviously knew Reigns was going to win. So that kind of took away the mystique a little bit. I didn't like the Solo Sikoa interference because that's become like a regular thing now.
Yeah.
You know, it's been there, done that. Sleepy Joe, what did you think of the Universal Championship match?
How to put this nicely?
Yeah.
You've seen one Reigns match, you've seen them all, I guess. I mean,
That's fair.
like this shouldn't have been. I agree with JB. This shouldn't have been a 4-way because it's starting to like they were really pressing that he's really close to Hogan. So as much as I want Cody to win the title at Mania, I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
Yeah.
If he doesn't lose this title till the fall, and if that's the
Now,
case,
I'll reveal the end match here.
but if that's the case, like this shouldn't have been a 4-way because you just burnt through your top 3 contenders in this division.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this whole like and this match for me didn't even make Roman Reigns look strong. He didn't kick out of one finisher. He only won because he got help from someone again. Like I don't understand how Triple H in this regime thinks that's making someone look strong because it makes him look like a chump in my eyes.
Yeah.
And then I had one more thing to say and I can't remember at the moment.
If you remember after I'm done, or go ahead.
Joe's getting a little sleepy.
He is
No,
sleepy too.
No, I'm not getting sleepy. This match truly just angers me. Oh yes, I know what it is. Like this is just my general observation of Triple H. This man doesn't know how to capitalize on anything hot to save his life. Freaking LA Knight was the most over person on this entire card tonight. He's been the most over for months. He did the same thing to Sami Zayn. He did the same thing to Cody. He did the same thing to Drew McIntyre. Like, the WWE gets behind all of these guys, and for some stupid arbitrary number of days being champion, Triple H and Vince and everyone else is like, no, we're just going to let Roman keep the belt. Like, 99% of the story after WrestleMania for Roman doesn't need a belt. Everything with Jay didn't need a belt. Everything that's coming with The Rock doesn't need the belt.
Okay.
Can't F and
That's
drive.
how you really feel.
Can't F and
I
drive.
don't disagree with him at all. I think he hit the nail right on the head. But at the same time, you got to realize, too, that the whole Reigns buildup and the matches being repetitive all the time, you got to understand that when you have that belt for almost 4 years, and that win at WrestleMania, Cody taking on Roman Reigns and finishing that story is going to be huge. I mean, it's going to go past the wrestling community and go straight to the heart of society when you're going to see
he wins.
It's gonna be like Hulkamania Part 2. Let me tell you something, Cody, brother. I was there when he slammed Roman Reigns. And I told him, "You can do it, brother. You have the spirit of the Hulkster." And that's how.
I'm the guy who discovered Roman Reigns, brother, and his dad.
I'm gonna tell you what I think about this match. I thought we all kind of had a feeling that Roman would win.
Yeah.
Right.
And he won. Now did he win by like looking dominant? No, he did not. But when has he looked dominant? He's always kind of cheated his way through this whole title reign.
Yeah.
He's never been like that dominant. Like it's supposed to be the cowardly champion who's acting like he's all tough, but he's getting everyone to do his kind of like a mobster in a way, right? Like the head guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got everyone kind of doing his bidding. So it's kind of typical of someone that he's portraying. And as far as the 4-way, you need some filler before Mania, and having 3 guys there, very talented guys. AJ Styles, very talented. LA Knight, he's over as hell. He's getting the pops, and Randy Orton is looking like the Randy Orton of old. So. No one really takes the you don't. LA Knight's bigger star because he was in this match.
Yeah.
Those guys, any loss they take isn't going to hurt them at this point. So I think it's just a good way to give us a bit of filler before we get to Mania.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you guys before we move on. What do you think the implications are here for Elimination Chamber? Do you think they pull the trigger on Rock Reigns at Elimination Chamber?
No.
Why did they tease The Rock coming and saying something? Like, do you think Reigns is going to be in Elimination Chamber at all or not?
He's not even advertised for Elimination Chamber at the moment. So, no. We probably won't see him, but like on a random SmackDown episode to sign his contract for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Did you want to address that comment there?
I did.
Royal Rumble show. Okay. All right. Moving on. I made note of this because I thought it was pretty funny. Michael Cole said that Kevin Owens looks like Jelly Roll's brother.
Yeah.
Now, Jelly Roll's a hell of a wrestling fan. He's been at AEW on their show.
Yeah.
And now he's appearing at he's getting over. Like, can we
He
see
is
him in a wrestling
huge-
match sometime in the future?
Yeah, he's a huge wrestling fanatic. I mean, huge.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, this guy's everywhere. I mean, you see Jelly Roll literally everywhere these days.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know I have listened to and like Jelly Roll music. So
Oh,
I
you didn't even
like
know you were
Jelly Roll.
diving to it.
I think he's pretty good. I like some of his stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. So that leads us into, for the U.S. Championship, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens.
Wait. Tiffany wants you to be muted. And then you got your Japanese friend, Mute Tiffany.
Oh,
I mean that's actually. I mean, muting Tiffany is actually possible.
Ooh.
Oh.
Let me go over my notes for this match here, and then I'll go around and see what you guys think about it. One thing that struck me whenever Logan Paul made his entrance, he's a heel, but he gave a kid a bottle of his drink. So unless he's poisoning the kid with his energy drink, that's not much of a heel move.
Well, he's still an entrepreneur at heart who wants to sell his.
Yeah, he's sample. Sample.
I love the way that Logan Paul was selling Kevin Owens' chops, like they were absolutely killing him. I thought that was pretty cool. Paul was working the hand of Kevin Owens, and they were doing good psychology here of Kevin Owens has recovered from a broken hand, and Logan Paul's working the hand, taking the tape off of it and everything. I thought that was good. I'm sick of the spots in Logan Paul's matches where some random entourage guy just pops out and we're all supposed to know who it is. But no, nobody watches those bullshit videos he does or his podcast or anything. But this random dude gives him a set of brass knuckles, which Kevin Owens takes from him. Grayson Waller and Theory come out. They're the ones that give him the brass knuckles. The entourage guy made a diversion. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens ends up taking the brass knuckles, hitting Paul, going for the pin. The referee stops in the middle of the three because he sees the knuckles on Kevin Owens. I thought this was an interesting finish. It was a way to keep the title on Logan Paul so that they could rematch probably at WrestleMania and Kevin Owens could take it from him there. I didn't hate this finish. This match wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be because I've seen Logan Paul perform pretty well in the past. This was just okay to me. I didn't love it, didn't hate it, but it served its purpose. I will start with Canada F and Dry this time. What did you think of the U.S. title match?
I was getting into it. You're right. Logan Paul did sell really well in this match. I enjoyed that. I like that Kevin Owens kicked out of his finishing punch there. He's like,
Yeah.
what? I think it's kind of forecast Kevin Owens is a tough son of a bitch, and he'll kind of keep just getting up and getting up. I do actually enjoy the finish because it's kind of that old school face getting caught doing what the bad guy was doing, and it's kind of like it. And Kevin Owens doesn't need, Kevin Owens doesn't need the title. But I definitely would have put this right after the Rumble, or maybe even delete off the show.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I think this should have been well before the actual championship. in my opinion. Sleepy Joe, what did you think about Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens?
Full disclosure, I hate Logan Paul. I think he's a scum of the earth human being. And to me, he's nothing but a creator wrestler that I made when I was 8 years old. He just does a bunch of high spots. He really has no ring psychology in my mind. He doesn't tell a story.
But what about him working the hand though? Wasn't that pretty good psychology?
That was like one thing that I've seen him do. Like I've heard people sing the praises of this man, that he does the best buckshot lariat. That thing is hideous. Like it is horrible. And I get that you like to finish, but I think it makes every referee in the WWE look stupid that he caught the brass knuckles mid 3 count. I'm sorry. I just think
He's about to go 3, and then he looks up like he's like,
out of nowhere. Like he was literally looking at the shoulders, and he's like, "Oh, my spidey senses. Let me look for the brass knuckles."
I have not seen. It is creative though. I have not seen that finish before.
I don't think I have either. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. It is interesting that in that split second, it would catch your eye enough to stop and look at it.
Look,
Yeah.
it
So what he
wasn't
should have
even
done
like,
was look at it first.
it
and
would
then
have
do a
made more
double take.
sense if they were like the shiny brass knuckles, and the ref can say, "Oh, I caught the glimmer of the gold in my eyes." But these are some dull ass brass.
No, you do it. You do it like this. You look it, then you look down. You go, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, in super slow motion.
What?
I suppose it would have made more sense if he had maybe thrown the brass knuckles off, and it was kind of like a couple feet away
Yeah,
within
like
the
it
line of
didn't
sight
quite
of
make
the
it out of the
referee.
ring.
Yeah. But yeah. JFB, what did you think of Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens?
Oh God, it should have been on the pre-show. It should have just been on the pre-show. It should have just been on the pre-show. I didn't like it. Yeah, I just did. I just didn't like it. There were some really good spots. Kevin Owens looked fantastic. He made Logan Paul look fantastic. But the referee and the brass knucks and I knew as soon as the camera got there and the camera was zooming in closer on his hand, I was like, okay, well, he didn't throw the brass knucks away. It was just I feel
Now,
like this is the last
Have you guys seen JFB on the AEW After Dark? He shits pretty hard on, so it's nice to see him equally shitting on another company.
Look,
If he was shitting hard on AEW, imagine how shit's just gonna be everywhere by the end of this Rumble.
he's going to be called up to here.
I mean,
Yeah, really nothing but Brown. Brown with
it
the
made
Brown.
it pretty easy tonight, honestly, to shit on him, because there's some bad decisions on this pay-per-view.
full disclosure here, I figured coming into this, I was like, I'm probably going to be the only one on this panel to like praise anything.
Wait,
The
I
Canada's
was
around
shitting on anything. Come on.
No. I'm saying that's what I thought coming into it. Canada Dry.
I'm a
But you
professional,
believe
damn it.
I will be honest, like I enjoyed this more because my 9-year-old son watched the pay-per-view with me, and just seeing like his willful like bliss and craziness to go for like the near falls in like the Roman Reigns match and everything, like it was worth it. I enjoy spending time with him watching wrestling. It's just I try not to be cynical and poo-poo on his naivete.
So you don't. This is shit.
Yeah, I try not to do that, but
Sometimes it comes out.
it does sometimes, yes. Like I had to catch myself because like after the second match, after the world title, he was like, "This is the match of the night." I'm like, "Bro, but there's been 2 matches, buddy. Like, calm down."
You know what you can do to cover up your cynicism? You could say, you know what JP would say about this match?
Yeah. My pal JFB would.
He would think this is horrible, but not me. I'm right here with you, son.
He would take a major steaming shit on this, son.
That JP, he's a bad apple.
All I gotta say is this: I feel like this was the last match Vince booked before he got ceremoniously let go. Like I feel like he's like, all right, How can I,
With,
how can I just crap on a part-time wrestler and a guy who's been wrestling since he came out of the womb? I know how we're
Now,
gonna do
now
it.
let's just say that this Logan Paul character,
Yeah.
he's come out and said it's time to make my hobby more of a full-time thing.
Yeah, he signed a full-time contract with WWE.
But he calls it a hobby. Like, it's what a dick.
I don't believe for 1 second he's going to wrestle full time.
I don't either.
What don't you find, like, if you're a full-time professional, you worked your life for this, and he's calling your job a hobby?
Hobby,
Is that insulting?
That's
Yeah.
that is bull crap. That's
I would
bullshit.
think so. Yeah. I'd say wrestlers probably feel the same way about him as boxers feel about him and his brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you can't just wander into this and just pretend that you're like king
I
shit.
don't know. I think
Yeah.
boxers may hate him a little bit more than wrestlers do.
Probably because it's like legitimate fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, let's see Jake Paul fight. I don't know, anybody with any skill. Canelo Alvarez. See what would happen to him. Instead of fighting like 50-year-old retired MMA fighters, and
That are past their prime.
probably wouldn't turn out too well for him, I imagine.
What about Logan Paul versus Caleb Bane?
Hey, I mean, I give Caleb a puncher's chance. You know, Caleb he power lifts, right? Isn't that
Yes.
one of the
Did you
things?
see that picture of Caleb powerlifting? I was like, what the?
Dude, he's
That's your profile picture, boy.
he's a badass dude, man. He might throw a big hook shot and send him into
Yeah.
oblivion. I mean,
And
that's
I get
possible.
a mustache ride.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. That leads us to the main event here, the men's rumble. Now, same as the women's rumble, I'm just going to go through the list of participants real quick, and we can go from there. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, number 1 and number 2. Grayson Waller, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, Shinsuke Nakamura, Santos Escobar, Karrion Kross, Dominic Mysterio, Carlito, Bobby Lashley, Ludwig Kaiser, Austin Theory, Finn Balor, Cody Rhodes, Bronson Reed, Kofi Kingston, Gunther, Ivar, Braun Breaker, Omos, Pat McAfee, JD McDonough, R-Truth, The Miz, Damian Priest, CM Punk, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, and Sami Zayn. I will start with Canada F and Dry. What did you think of the men's Royal Rumble?
Wow, this was. Let me say first off, thank you for teasing us with the Hulk Hogan. Every minute I'm waiting for I am a real like how would they have done that?
Oh God, that would have been awful.
How would they have gotten him out?
They could have done done that with Pat McAfee. They could have had him come out, like selling his back, and then Omos comes out and he just hops over the top rope.
Hogan would have done that like that?
Yeah, just have Hogan bow out gracefully. Be like, yeah, I'm
Like,
in.
then fuck it, this is too much. It's like, oh my back, and then it's like, oh yeah, then they help him out.
They would have had the WrestleMania 3 like motorized cart ring.
Yeah.
Bring him out.
Or a rascal.
So remember you had the John Laurinaitis had the people power thing?
Oh Jesus, a Laurinaitis reference.
Probably shouldn't be mentioning his name right now.
Where are we
We're
going?
gonna,
with this,
we're
Al?
gonna be talking about him tomorrow. So
It is after dark.
yeah.
Wait, you said something about Vince shitting on a wrestler a second ago, and then now we've got John Laurinaitis talk coming in here.
I didn't say anything about it. Was that a
JFE
literal
did.
shitting on? A literal shitting on? With this feces loving sort of sex thing?
One of you said something about this was Vince's like last booking move to
Oh,
shit
was
on
that
a
a real
wrestler.
shit?
Yeah, that was JFB.
Yeah, it was a figural shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I believe he would be into the literal shit as well.
Yes.
Well, based on the freaking lawsuit, I think you're right.
Yeah. He's one freaky dude with some of the stuff he's into.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like he's not no regular sex fiend.
I've seen some pretty grotesque memes, not even just in wrestling groups, but in general memes groups
Yeah.
here lately on Facebook. So
Yeah, someone's freaking dark and like
some of them is very, very dark.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to like it. I don't want to laugh. I don't want to make an angry face at it. Just
I don't even want to see it. Just keep going.
I'm moving on. Or
Like-
how about the Vince one that the dildos look like microphones? Yeah, the little baby microphone. The big one.
Now, here's one. This one isn't sexual, but do any of you remember the story of Bud Dyer or Dwyer, the politician?
No, tell us.
Yeah, so this is the inspiration of the rock band Filter's song "Hey Man, Nice Shot," and this was a politician from the 1980s that was like caught in some corruption scandal, and it was going to like ruin his life. And he did a press conference live on TV, and he got up.
What the hell?
He got up on the press conference podium with a bag in his hand, apologized to everybody, pulled a GUN out of a bag, and live on camera. And I saw a meme last night of Vince McMahon's head superimposed on him standing at the podium with a bag in his hand.
What? That's
And I was like, oh my God, this is getting way too dark. Oh my God. So,
well,
yeah.
even Caleb says this, saying Vince should go to hell. Like,
Randy says that Vince can stay the hell away from Japan. I'd say he's probably not going to go to Japan.
Yeah.
I am pissing off at Vince. He going to hell.
so he's still been calling Kevin Patrick a bitch.
He
And I
is
was like,
bitch.
well, the guy lost his job. You have to rub it in too. He's oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's time
He's
to.
sorry to me. He's like, sorry,
Like-
Kevin Patrick.
We gotta we gotta call somebody else a bitch at this point. I told him they needed to send me a clip, and he did. I haven't saved it and loaded it to my mixer yet, but he sent me a clip of him saying he is bitch. So that's gonna be
Yeah,
on my
we got to
mixer
get that on. We also have the Brie clip that I think JFE forgot to put on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For tomorrow, though.
Yeah, we got to have that clip on for tomorrow because it's hilarious. We got to throw it on just to stick it to me every once in a while. Just to,
Yep.
Let's not intermingle it with the Vince discussion. Let's,
yes, you dirty little man slut.
Oh my God.
So I'll give my thoughts on
Oh,
the
you
Rumble.
stop.
I'm kind of surprised they went with Jimmy and Jay 1-2, especially if they're planning to do it at Mania. Thought they
Yeah.
would have like tried to keep them away from each other. And it, like the final four, I thought was like the perfect final four
Yeah.
because you don't know who was going to win. Any one of those four could plausibly have made it. And another thing, like I noticed this with Triple H, like he doesn't do like nostalgia pop returns, which I kind of like.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like here recently, like Vince had gotten way too reliant on just the nostalgia pop of a whole bunch of old 90s wrestlers coming in. So
Now, Canada Dry, did we even really get your thoughts? You kind of like made a joke.
Oh,
but
I totally forgot. I was like, when are we going to talk about the Rumble? we totally did a veer off. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the Rumble was great. We had some good debuts. The pops weren't that good for Andrade. No one really got a big pop too much in the men's.
because the crowd sucked.
Yeah, there was a big pop at the end. So we had I liked how Drew was dominating, but then just got eliminated. Like that, I enjoyed Drew's moments in the Rumble here.
Yeah.
And you knew as soon as Ricochet came out, there's some fodder for you. That's
Yeah.
all he was there for fodder. He wasn't going to win. He had no shot at winning.
you mean you didn't like Ricochet's odds?
No, I do not like Ricochet's odds.
Before we go to JFB, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, my man.
For Gunther to be called the Ring General, he did some really stupid stuff in in this Rumble tonight.
No,
Like twice, Sami Zayn was trying to eliminate people, and Gunther's like, "Nope, get off him." I'm like, "What are you doing, Gunther? Like, let Sami Zayn eliminate someone. It's making your job easier."
I don't
Yeah,
understand that.
that's the one thing in Rumble. Or even Battle Royals, you always get someone stopping someone from eliminating someone.
Yeah.
And I always think
Yeah.
that's a lazy way to do it.
Unless it's a stablemate or a tag team partner or something, like
That makes sense.
they shouldn't be doing that. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you got to find some other way for them to fight out of it or something.
Yeah.
The effing JFB. What do you think about the men's Royal
I
Rumble?
was really disappointed that there were no surprise entrants.
Yeah.
Andrade was the biggest one, and that was one of only two, and the other one was an injury. I was like, I wasn't expecting Okada. I wasn't expecting MJF, but I was expecting at least.
You know, Brock was probably supposed to be in it. That's why Pat McAfee had to do
Yeah.
it.
Which is,
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it was Pat McAfee who took Brock's spot.
Yeah. But
Probably.
it just didn't, I don't know, like it felt like, it didn't feel like a normal Royal Rumble, like getting Edge back and John Cena back. And like, there was not a big name either coming back or, it lacked something. It was a good match overall. I'm glad it was Punk and Rhodes as the final two. I like Cody winning because it gives us the road and the map to his securing the legacy that his father could not, that's winning the WWE belt. So
Especially after we got that false report from
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated saying we're like, oh, everyone's like, that was going around everywhere.
Yeah, I swear I
We're
saw
all like, going
something.
up everywhere.
I saw something on X about Sports Illustrated is going out of business.
yeah,
So I think they're going to cease operations.
yeah.
Which is
I mean,
sad.
But-
are they going out completely, or is they're just?
No,
fired
they laid off everybody.
Everyone.
What do they got? Bare bones there, or what?
No, nothing. Shut
So how's
down.
this guy reporting this then?
I don't think the shutdowns happen yet, but
No,
it's
okay.
about
They're
to.
going to shut
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the month or something. I
However-
don't know, but
At least Justin Barrasso was professional enough to say, "Hey, my report was wrong. I was given duff information." Unlike other people who are just like,
Oh,
"Oh,
dude, I respect the hell out of that guy for that, because you get so many of these people. And that was the first thing I posted when I saw it. Like, okay, I'm going to post the retraction too, because that's the right thing to do.
well, it's almost like they're legitimate sports journalists
Yeah, you think, right?
and not just people who watch, pro wrestling their whole life and call themselves a journalist. Who would have thunk it, right?
So
Well, we could be doing that, so we got to be careful.
We're
We're
not
not
journalists.
journalists. We're
We're
just fans.
commentators. We're commentators, is what we
Well,
are.
we do have a website where we can report things. So
I was kind of surprised, like we didn't see The Rock. Honestly,
Yeah.
I thought for sure at some point, whether it was after The Rock won or after the main event, like I think it would have added some intrigue to the Cody Roman story to have The Rock show up.
Yeah.
maybe The Rock was pissy that the direction of this Rumble is not going how he wants it to.
No, I mean he is on the board of TKO, so
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't.
like-
Look, he hasn't. The rumor is he hasn't signed a contract to wrestle with WWE yet. He wants to, but he's just like last year. He's like, the story has to be right.
Yeah.
So
Well, here's my thoughts and my notes on the Rumble. I thought the crowd was very flat for all this. I didn't like the fact there weren't any surprises either, nor were there any last year. So that seems to be something that's just kind of ending, I guess, in the Rumble.
it's not Triple H's thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I thought? I came across this idea just now. What if The Rock is the one that costs Roman the title, and that then goes for them to have their own story after, and then you're done with the Cody and Roman thing. It's over.
I
Cody's
think
got to
I would-
win fully clean, though.
I
Maybe
think
like,
Like, let's say Rock comes and stops the bloodline from
Yeah,
interfering.
I think if The Rock came out and stopped Solo and stopped Jimmy, I think that would be better.
yeah, not interference, but just like being the justice.
yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
And then
And,
have
I mean,
have a year-long build to next Mania for
they basically do
Rock.
Miz Cena with Rock coming out.
Yeah.
I will wrestle you next year. Yeah, I could see that. But I thought the crowd was kind of flat. I thought R-Truth coming out and asking for a tag from Dominic Mysterio. I thought that was pretty funny. Final four was Cody, Punk, McIntyre, and Gunther. I like the fact that Rollins and Reigns were watching from skyboxes, scouting who their next potential opponent would be. This was the correct Final Four. I don't think this match was great. I really don't. I thought it kind of fell flat, but this was the correct Final Four, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Punk and Cody being the final two. I thought Punk looked okay, but he seemed really gassed.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if he's just not in very good shape at this point, but he kind of looked gassed a lot in his AEW run too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, you figure when's the last time Punk had what 2 dark matches or house shows in December?
Yeah,
One at MSG and one. Other than that, he hasn't had a match in how long?
since like what, August?
Yeah, All In was his
Yeah.
last match.
Yeah, he didn't look terrible, but he didn't look great. I did like when he looked at the camera and said, "I didn't wait 10 years to lose to Dusty's kid."
Yeah.
And
I thought
probably
that was pretty
loses.
cool. Yeah, and then he lost right afterwards. Cody Rhodes is the winner, going to WrestleMania. Very likely going to face Roman Reigns. They didn't confirm that, but they all but confirmed it.
I feel like they confirmed it. He was pointing at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Yes, let's have Cody challenge Seth.
Seth Rollins. Yes. So that's where we stop here. Cody Rhodes wins. Now, what do you guys think? I know we've kind of been going back and forth about this all night, but just in general, do we think Cody is going over Reigns this year or not? Definitively. JFB, yes or no?
Yes.
Sleepy Joe, yes or no?
I hope so. It's got to be a yes. I don't think I could deal with another freaking year of this.
Canada Dry, yes or no?
Now, I believe that I have a shirt bet with Liam on this one.
Oh boy. I have not heard about this. Tell me.
I'm not sure if they were bought shirts or if they were shirts from our store.
Or he's not going to wear a shirt for a podcast.
No. It's definitely we have to order some shirts for the other person.
Okay.
So I think it's 2 shirts.
Mm.
If Cody Rhodes finishes the story, and I bet that he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
Liam has been hanging out with Haney too much, being negative about it.
Well, he just think that WWE was going to screw over Cody.
I mean,
So-
yeah, like it is really funny because I remember us sitting talking on these podcasts about how WWE really needs to treat Cody well if they want to get some of these AEW guys. And like if I'm MJF or anyone else, I don't think they've done enough to convince me to jump ship just based on
Now, if Cody wins the belt, that's a whole different story because that's the law. That's 2 years of star making.
Cody's
And you
already-
headline Mania. I mean,
Yeah.
win or lose, you headline Mania, you're at the top.
yeah, but those
You won 2 Royal Rumbles.
Starks isn't coming over and immediately winning a Rumble and headlining Mania.
No, Starks
but-
isn't Cody, though.
You know who I would have liked to have been seen in the Rumble is Sean Spears.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Good old Ty Dillinger coming back.
Yeah, just to team up
Yeah.
with Cody, like that would have been cool.
I think his wife is pregnant again and all that, so I don't know if he really wants to be wrestling right now.
Iconic.
Yeah, that would have.
I'm surprised we didn't see. at
She's
least
the hotter
Billy
one of
Kay.
the iconics, by the way.
Yes.
I'm shocked
She
we didn't
is.
see like Billy Kay tonight.
Alright.
Because Cassie is pregnant. They just announced their second pregnancy.
There were so many, like AJ Lee would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought there was a good chance we'd see AJ Lee. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I guess she literally is just done with wrestling.
Yeah.
And we're just
Well, that's
never
the
going to see
thing
her
about
again.
this. It's like when you have 2 companies that are stocking up like this, it's hard to get the names all the time.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah,
you have
it's gonna
only
be-
WWE dominating, you can get whoever the hell you wanted.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to get guys that are basically retired that are coming back for one shots. That's going to have to be your surprises most of the time.
All right, you guys ready to talk about the cage match?
Yeah, I will. I have not seen this. I'm watching. I've got Collision going on my television right now. It's at Yuji Nagata versus Bryan Danielson. Haven't got to the cage match, so I will hand this over to Canada to dry.
Oh, I fast forwarded through everything and just watched the cage match. I watched the rest of Collision when I wake
Well,
up.
go ahead and explain what happened in the cage match and what your thoughts are.
If you guys can't comment, you can't comment. Okay, that's cool.
It's all good.
All right. Here we are. So mid collision, they're saying we got something going on backstage, and there is Daniel Garcia lying on the cement floor, covered in blood. He might not be able to make the cage match tonight, so they show the other matches. Then we have a promo with Briscoe and FTR discussing it, and FTR says, "I'll be your tag partner if you need me." And so FTR gets to the ring. Their partners now that is Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, coming out for FTR. House of Black ambushes him, throws him over the stage into a pile of whatever the hell it was. And then they attack FTR. They're beating the shit out of FTR. And they all of a sudden, for the save, Garcia comes running down. They throw Garcia and Dax in the ring. Dax and the House of Black are getting beat up. And all of a sudden, Cash comes from the top rope, top of the cage, flies down onto a heap of people. And they go back and forth, beating the shit out of each other. And not too much blood, really, over the whole match. The Dax and Brody King escape the cage. And then Cash and Matthews escape the cage. And it's just Garcia and Black. Black's just beating the shit out of Garcia. And Garcia's climbing the cage. Julia Hart sprays him with the mist. And Malachi Black hits him with his finisher. He's about to leave. And Garcia calls him back and is able to dominate. And they're both Malachi Black is crawling to the door. And Garcia is climbing the cage. It looks like Malachi Black is about to escape when who comes but Mark Briscoe slamming the door on the face of Malachi Black, and FTR and Garcia win.
Nice. Sleepy Joe, what'd you think of that match?
Like I said, I was watching it while we were talking. It looks like I'm going to go back and watch it with volume. It looks great, but it really looks like they went out of their way to make Daniel Garcia the star. Like,
and you called it, Sleepy Joe?
I did. I said it should have been. If it's an elimination in a cage, you think it would be a pin. That's my biggest gripe. Like, this was very convoluted on how they explained the rules of this match. Like,
I think they changed their minds.
Maybe
That's what I think happened. I think they called it an elimination match, and that's what it was going to be. And then they changed their minds and decided to call it the escape the cage dealio.
Yeah, like to me it makes no sense. Let's do a 3-on-3 escape where the point is to escape, but you leave your team a man down. Like,
well, it didn't work that way because they were all escaped at the same time.
Yeah, well, that's dumb. That's not how it. That's
Yeah,
never
it's
how
not
it
realistic.
works.
I like the elimination idea better.
So did I, because like I said, my idea would have came to fruition. It would have been Garcia pinning Malachi
Technically,
Black.
Garcia was the last man standing.
Yeah.
He won.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Who bled first?
I think that would have been Garcia because he was before the match even started. He was bleeding in the back, and he came out with a bandage around his head.
Yeah,
So
he
is
like
that more-
he really did the bandage. Like he looked like he like all of it, half his head was bandaged up. Like he went real serious with the bandages.
So,
is
but I
that
don't think
what
that
the-
counts because I don't think anyone bled.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know.
But
But,
it was a good match. It's hard to compete with the Rumble though and get the eyes on it that it deserves. Like it was a real. I would give this match definitely uh, the Meltzer treatment of 5 stars.
I'm gonna
Oh,
say,
really? Wow.
like,
Okay.
it definitely feels like Garcia is a full fledged babyface now.
Garcia is getting the push big time. He does. Let me say, Tony Khan does not want. He's big on Garcia. He does not want to lose him.
Well, he's in a contract year. He's
Yeah.
a free agent soon. So,
Hmm. All right.
but I will. But to be fair, also, Chris Jericho said after the Wrestle Dream pay per view, he was like, "We have big plans for Garcia to push him in the future," and it looks like we're seeing it put in action because he has been a major focus on Collision.
Gentlemen, we are after 1 a.m. So we're going to go ahead and get to the last part
flowers.
here.
Let's give the
What's that?
flowers.
Yeah.
Let's give-
We're going to do the match of the night at the Rumble and bell rating. We're not going to do segment because there's no segments. I will start with JFB.
Match of the night for me definitely was the women's rumble. Seeing Jordan Grace come out, Naomi coming back out, stuff like that. I mean, that just touches the heartstrings. I'm going to give it 3 bells. It was good, but it was disjointed. It could have been way better.
Can't F and draw.
I'm gonna go with the men's Royal Rumble. It's the match, and then I like the fact that Cody won the setup of 4 there. Drew McIntyre with getting all those claymores the shit out of everyone. It was great. And Cody finally getting to finish the story at WrestleMania. It's exciting, and I'm gonna get some shirts out of the deal.
What's your bell rating?
My bell rating for this is 3.62.
All right. Sleepy Joe, what say you
I'm
about?
making Sleepy Joe do math.
I'm right with JFB. Women's Rumble to me was the best. Maybe it's because the first match, 4 matches on like a 4.5 hour card is just too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm giving this 3 bells. It was fine. I've sat through worse wrestling. I've sat through better wrestling. So
For me, I really like the women's rumble a lot, but I like the last 5 to 10 minutes of the men's rumble best. I like it coming down to Punk and Cody, and I like Cody winning. I thought that told a great story, set up some interesting storylines moving forward. So I'm going to say the men's rumble is my favorite, and I'm going to give it 3.25 bells. I didn't think it was a great card. I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it was serviceable. And
Okay,
it
so
set up-
instead of your segment of the night, who was your favorite entrant of the night?
mine was Naomi. I love her entrance.
Yeah.
Like she just has it. She has that package for when it comes to making an entrance and being memorable.
I like that. I'm
Who's
going to go
your
with
favorite
Naomi.
entrant?
I go with Naomi's entrance. I love
Oh,
the glow.
Naomi getting some flowers here. You going with Naomi too?
Yeah.
It was a hell of a pop. It was a great moment. It felt good. It felt exciting. Like I loved it. I loved her coming back. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jordan Grace because she no-sold that not being in the Rumble so good. She did the video of herself at home before she went out there to fool everyone. I knew it. I called in chat that she was doing that.
She looked amazing.
She has a
Great.
presence about her, which is
And
fantastic.
that belt looks so legit. Like that new belt looked good.
Yeah.
Knockouts belt looks fantastic.
All right. Cat F and Dry, do you want to do the closing festivities here?
Well, you want to know our average before we go to that?
Yes, that too.
Yeah, what's our average?
3.2175.
All right. All right.
All right. As you know, hold on, let me find this. All right, here we go. So, on behalf of the FN expert, JFB, Sleepy Joe, and all you out there in cartoon land, we thank you guys for watching the After Dark Royal Rumble. Thanks for tuning in. Sometimes life is hard, and dark times come. It's okay to be down. It's not okay to stay down. The Great Deception says that the forces of depression always win, but that's not true. Hurting yourself is easy. It's the living that is hard. It takes fortitude to move forward every single day. Strength doesn't come from within. Relationships can be like lightning rods to your soul. That doesn't make you a weak. That makes you a survivor. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, your rod and your staff, they come from me. Do not gloat over me, my enemy. Though I am sit in darkness, I will rise, and I will just keep fighting.
Yeah, hit it. This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.